different, we're willing to share that with any of the cities or towns, with the local governments that you participate in, or the community groups that you represent. We think we've got a good message of how to move forward. Now I see Karen saying, now it was time, so, you know, I'll be glad to answer questions as we go along on this trip, because I know I certainly left out a lot of stuff. They're awaiting us. For those of you who missed it earlier, the lavatories are downstairs, one floor, out the store, elevator or stairs. We're going to be going outside to the 2 trolleys. They're intermingled with some kind of trucks that are working on telephone poles. So please be very careful out there. I've already been out and talked to the gentleman with the pole. So we'll see you on board the trolleys. And our next stop is the Annapolis Maritime Museum in the Republic of Eastport.
Then we go down to Eastport. Is where everybody's from?
Annapolis, Texas.
Okay, Texas, but you live in Maryland now?
I live in Eastport.
Eastport, okay.
Originally, Rockford, Illinois.
Rockford, Illinois?
West, Columbia, Maryland.
Columbia? Okay, show me that. Okay.
Austin, Texas.
Austin? You still live in Austin, or? No?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, city of brotherly love. I used to live in Delaware County for a little while.
Now Edgewater.
Edgewater.
Now Edgewater.
Edgewater?
Formerly Kansas City, Missouri.
All right,
Ohio.
I'm all over today. You guys in back? Hyattsville. Baltimore. Annapolis, right? Clinton, Maryland. I know Clinton.
Navy family, but now Crownsville.
Crownsville. Guys?
Greenbelt and
Greenbelt.
now Heritage Harbor.
Heritage Harbor. I think you've seen you before too.
New Jersey.
New Jersey. What part?
Central.
Central.
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Greenbelt.
Greenbelt. You told me that already. Yeah.
Baltimore.
Baltimore. And Bowie. I lived in Bowie for a little while too. I lived everywhere. T-section. I went to Tulip Grove. Okay. All right. Let's ready. Ready to go? All right.
You've been back out? You were going. Yeah.
Keep your voices down. I'll kind of explain a little bit.
Okay, everybody, hold it down. Mark's going to talk to us.
Okay, sir.
Okay, we got to do the Gloucester Street now in Annapolis. It's one of the longest streets in the historic district, believe it or not.
Your mic's not working, Mark.
I know. We'll figure that out. Check.
Is it possible
Because it wasn't on. It's one of the longest streets in the historic district. On our right, we've been passing St. Mary's Roman Catholic Church and schools. They have 1,500 students in K through 12. The church is Catholic Revival, very pretty inside, a lot of rib vaulting on the ceiling. But behind the church rectory is the home of Charles Carroll of Carrollton. Now, Mr. Carroll was the only Roman Catholic to sign the Declaration of Independence. After we leave the Maritime Museum, we'll have a nice look at the Carroll houses and come back across Spot Creek a little later on. Now, across the street off to our left is the Annapolis Yacht Club, one of several yacht clubs in the area. Now, we're coming across the neighborhood across the Spot Creek into my neighborhood. A couple people on here also live over here. Coming into Eastport. We're on another peninsula over here. Annapolis is on the peninsula, but Eastport's also on the peninsula. It's surrounded by Spot Creek, the Severn River, and about 4 blocks in front of us is Back Creek. With 1,800 boats over at Back Creek. Eastport is 100 acres large. It was farmland up in the 1860s when it was first plotted. Then, for over 100 years, it was home to watermen, folks who worked on the water, harvesting crabs and oysters and clams. It's also home to one of 12 boat yards that used to be along Spot Creek. When fiberglass came in, wooden boat building went out. But Eastport still has a lot of maritime history on both sides. It was annexed to the city in 1965, but it's always been kind of a separate neighborhood from Annapolis. Over the years over here, the watermen, they couldn't make a living anymore. They took off. People with money found out about this neighborhood, all these old houses up in here on the peninsula, fixed them up. Now it's hard to find a house under $500,000 in Eastport. Neighborhood upwards about $4 million on the water. But very chic over here. A lot of fine dining restaurants down on Severn Avenue down there. Bruce Chris, O'Leary's, Chart House. But we still call it Eastport, not Annapolis. We want to maintain that separate maritime history. maritime heritage. I heard we call it the Maritime Republic of Eastport. We have our own flag over here.
And no socks.
I know, but I'm breaking the law today. I'm going to do a wedding, so I couldn't get away with a wedding with no socks. But yeah, you're right. Last week we had the annual sock burning party, where you come down and you burn your socks on the vernal. They did a vernal equinox.
Yes, they don't wear socks.
What is the symbolism for that? I mean, what is where did it come from?
Symbolism was started about 7 years ago, where it's not really folklore, 'cause it's not that old, but the watermen the boatyard people would work, all winter long, had to wear socks because they were out in the cold and working with that, the blue painting the bottoms and sanding, and their socks were always filthy dirty. And so when springtime came, you'd finally be able to take off the socks and just wear deck shoes. So, and they'd do something with the socks. So we decided to have a burning party. So everybody burns their socks now. Now it's become a tradition for everybody in Eastport comes down and burns their socks. Not just boatyard people.
Excuse for a party.
Excuse for a party. There's always an excuse for a party.
With Rome.
Years ago, we had to close the bridge down. It's been 10 years ago now. We had to close the bridge down for repair, and it's kind of really shocked this neighborhood because that's not really the only way over here, except unless you go all the way around. So a couple guys got together. You'll probably meet Jeff Holland today. I don't know if he'll be in here today, but decided to create the Maritime Republic of Eastport. That's how the whole thing started. And now every year we have the Ambassador's Ball. We wear formal attire up top and then shorts with deck shoes with no socks. We have the .05K race, which is one time across the bridge.
With a water stop in between.
Yeah, one water stop in between. I forgot about that. You got to train for that one now. And we have the now famous tug of war, where we have a 1,800 foot rope that runs across the bay, Spot Creek, and we tug of war with the city of Annapolis, and whoever wins gets to claim this as their golf. It's always the golf of Eastport.
But they're allowed to sell beer on the Eastport side, and
Yeah.
we're not in
I know.
Annapolis, so they are well lubricated.
That could be to a disadvantage, though. And there's our flag right there. See our yellow flag? It has a Labrador on it, crab, blue heron, sailboat, and a waterman's boat. And our motto is, we like it this way.
And they have their own song.
Yeah, and our own pledge of allegiance, too. And it started as something fun. That's what this neighborhood is. It benefits charity. They've raised quite a bit of money over the years for charity. It's kind of a little quaint neighborhood, Eastport over here. It's a little corner market. And we're going right now is the new Maritime Museum, which is really nice. Now it's Maritime Museum. Lots of programs going on, educational programs happening down here. I had a great lecture series this winter. I went to a couple of them.
That creek is also lined with all kinds of boatyards and marinas.
Oh, no.
This is the old McNatsby's building. McNatsby's Oyster House is what it originally was. All right, we have arrived. All I'm going to ask you to do is please watch your step when you go down, because the steps are a little high up.
A little bit closer to the... Karen, will you go next to her and so you look at coming off the bus? Like stop and talk, there you go. Hi, hi, hi.
Don't take a picture of her taking her cell phone.
It was. Famous. We're somebody that took them around the town,
I'm fine. This day that I'm on this.
I'm gonna pop inside so I can say hi to our speakers.
It's that beautiful resort now, whatever that is. Programs, so it's everything I own, and they did such a wonderful presentation.
I know what I'm talking about, but I don't know exactly what you do know. I think I'd rather, you want to?
I'm working on an elbow injury. My voice isn't up to it.
Can you tell us a little bit about Maritimes?
Yes, please. Thank you very much. Thank you, Karen, and welcome. Welcome, Mayor Moore. This today is a marvelous day because it allows us to pay tribute to one of the people who was one of the most important people in my life. We'll talk about her in just a minute. Peg Wallace. And Peg is a dear friend of Mayor Moyer and one of the co-founders with the mayor of this establishment, and the real force behind why we're here, who we are, and what we're trying to do for the community. And the Maritime Museum actually started out as the Eastport Historical Committee 20-some years ago. Eastport, as Karen was saying, is this little peninsula. You can see boats going by no matter which street you look down. And it's only 6 blocks long, it's 4 blocks wide, surrounded by Back Creek, as you can see here, and Spa Creek, and the Annapolis Harbor, and the Separate River on one side. Actually, as part of the Maritime Republic of Eastport, we broke away from the city of Annapolis, and we're thinking of islanding the peninsula. And we would do that by taking all of the Labrador retrievers, throwing a bone, they'd go digging for the bone, and dig a trench connecting one creek to the other. We realized that wouldn't work because the closest point between the two creeks leaves the Eastport liquor store on the wrong side. We scratched that idea, but still, this is a unique community, and the concept when the Eastport Historical Committee started many years ago was that downtown Annapolis doesn't have a monopoly on all the historical stuff. We've got great history here, and it is our connection with the water that makes this community unique. You see the working boatyards we have here today. Those boatyards have been here from day one. And we have had many of our residents, and this is a unique community because this is one of the few communities where African Americans and whites live together, side by side, work together, play together, worked out on the water together, could do everything but go to school together. And when they went to the theater, they had to walk across this bridge together and then go to separate theaters. But while they were here, this is one of those few places where the races got along together, is from every single story that I've heard from any of the people who live here forever. So we wanted to celebrate that unique history, but also celebrate our connection with the water. In about the year 2000, we started out with a little barge house, which you'll see here on the campus. This was one of the first purchases of Project Open Space money, and I need to run through things very quickly because we're very limited on time. But move ahead and move through the building. This is PEG, and we'll just kind of talk about that. In the year 2000, PEG put together a committee that decided that there's a bigger story to tell than just the maritime history of Eastport. Annapolis has a wonderful maritime story. The whole Anne Arundel County. We're a county with 631 miles of shoreline. And there's no institution that's really telling the story of our connection with the Chesapeake Bay and with the water surrounding us. And that's why the Eastport Historical Committee evolved into the Annapolis Maritime Museum, to fit that gap, to interpret our maritime heritage and connect our students and our visitors and our residents with that heritage that is in danger of being lost. One of the problems we overcame was about 5.5 years ago, if you had been sitting in this room, you'd be up your ears in water. This is Hurricane Isabel came along. But we came back and just run through these very quickly. We have and came back with this building as of December 1st, thanks to the support of Mayor Moyer and the City of Annapolis. Today we run educational programs here. Again, connecting our kids. Many, here it is, ironically, in that community is 631 miles of shoreline. So few of our kids ever got out on the water, ever met a waterman, ever looked an oyster in the face. And we're making that connection. Kids are raising oysters out here, and then with watermark cruises, we're taking them out of the water, many for the first time. And they take these oysters, and they name them, and they take them over the oyster bed, and they set them free. But they know that they're doing something important to help save the bay. Because every one of those oysters, they understand, is a filter feeder. And they can filter a whole bathtub full of water every single day. And when John Smith sailed by here 400 years ago, there were enough oysters to filter every drop of water in the bay every single day. That's 18 trillion gallons of water. And these kids realize that if they save one oyster, they're helping to bring that oyster population back and help save the bay. So that is one of our missions. We're also doing community outreach efforts like the Randall Osprey we did at Maryland Hall last year. We're doing all kinds of learning, kids are learning about all kinds of other critters that live on those oyster reefs out in the bay. We're inspiring the young and old to be better citizens. When they get connected with their environment, when they get connected with their maritime heritage, they understand what a special place they live in. And they realize what special people they must be. And they realize why they need to take care of the bay, why they need to take care of a single little oyster, and why they need to take care of this community. They become better citizens of this community, better stewards of the Chesapeake Bay, and better people all around, we think. So we've created actually 5 meaningful watershed experiences. We hope to add, again, with the support from the city, we hope to add to our 3-person staff and add a full-time education director and do more for our community. Also with the city of Annapolis, we adopted the Thomas Point Shoal Lighthouse, which is that iconic symbol of the bay out there 5 miles out in the water, out in the middle of the bay. And you can go out there this summer. Every other Sunday, we're taking visitors out to the lighthouse. And the U.S. Lighthouse Society is restoring that structure back to its original 1875 splendor. It's a National Historic Landmark, but it was in danger of being lost, torn up. It's irrelevant. No good anymore. Why should we put money into that old 135-year-old structure? Because it's ours. It's what makes us special. It doesn't look like any other lighthouse you've ever seen, does it? Well, there's a unique story about that. When you come back in June and go for the tour, I'll tell you all about it. We have done all kinds of public service programs. We have done our, we have a summer concert series, and again, uses the arts, uses the voices of the bay to help build better stewardship of the bay. Any place worth singing about, any place worth preserving, that's what we say. We've done a maritime heritage series. If you were here last night, you heard all about the oyster wars. Do you know people actually shooting each other over the privilege to harvest oysters? It was amazing. That's how powerful this industry was. Here is, just run through these very, very quickly. This is the destruction of Hurricane Isabel and how we came back. Again, with the support from the city, with the support from our local businesses, with the support of volunteers who came here and painted and scrubbed and helped us move furniture, which is how I hurt my elbow, which is why I can't sing for you today. Water up to here, and yet we've come back with this magnificent structure, which we can use to help, again, connect our citizens, connect our visitors, connect our students with this amazing treasure we have in our own backyards, the Chesapeake Bay, and the people who made their living on the bay and made this community what it is today. Part of that celebration was a book by Ginger Doyle that we published last autumn. We're almost sold out. I think we got a box of 10 left. But this exhibit you see next to us is a collection that the author created from the 600 and some people that she interviewed. And just to tell you, I was talking with somebody about our oral history project. And I need to wrap it up, yes. I get so excited. But Ginger interviewed 600 some people, and a dozen of them are no longer with us. She captured them just in time. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to capture our history and our heritage before those people leave us. And unfortunately, Peg left us just a couple days more than a year ago today. She would have been so proud, and she would have been happy to say hello to you. So I want to turn it back over to Karen, or am I turning it back over? Yes. So thank you very much. Thank you for being here and joining us.
Wow, you're in a really special place. Elvie is the president of Stellar Productions, Inc., a web and print design and public relations consulting business here in Annapolis. Her international clients include businesses and nonprofits in various fields, including law, community associations, business association, health, politics, and environmental stewardship. She has a master's degree from Florida International University and a BA from the University of Miami, my own honor, by the way. She serves on the board of the Annapolis Maritime Museum and the Spa Creek Conservancy, and is webmaster and principal graphic artist for both. In 2007, Elvia founded Annapolis Green to consolidate local environmental connections and help people live environmentally responsible lives in this area. Annapolis Green, now a successful grassroots interest group that helps individuals and businesses make environmental connections, is the umbrella for the organization called Green Drinks. Annapolis, a fun part of the environmental movement. And every month, we gather and celebrate the environment with green drinks. Ms. Thompson is an avid sailor who has a passionate interest in the health of the Chesapeake Bay, and she's going to share her thoughts about the doyen of Eastport history, Ted Wallace.
I know a lot of you are not from right around here, but let me tell you what happened on March 20th, a week ago. We burned our socks. And it's a tradition that started here in Eastport. You burn your socks to hail the beginning of spring. So theoretically, if you burn your socks, you don't need them anymore. It's going to be warm and spring is going to come. Well, you know, I've got socks on today. but nonetheless, that event happened right here on our beach on the first anniversary of the death of Ted Wallace. And she would have loved it. She would have been the first one to say, great, that's a great way to celebrate my life and mark my passing with that. She was the #1 person for fun. There's a little saying that this quote, I don't know whose quote it is, it says, well-behaved women rarely make history. Well, that would be Peg.
I have it.
Yeah. Well, she not only had the t-shirt, she lived it. She was, I met Peg when she was in her 70s. I didn't know her in her youth, unfortunately. But she had more energy, more life than I ever had. She was just an amazing person. And as Jeff said, was the heart and soul of this entire organization and campus that we have here. She had the vision to realize that if you can get kids excited about where they came from, or at least even just tell them where they came from, that good things will come from there, and the community will be better off for it. It's been very interesting when we have kids come through here, and they often come in with a school program, they come with parent chaperones, at least a few parents. There have been so many parents who have said, I've actually heard them say, my granddaddy was a waterman and I never really knew what he did. Now, isn't that